Hello, this is Gordon, author of Real CIPP Prep, An American's Guide to European Data Protection Law and the GDPR, and I'm here to talk about the recent changes to the CIPP exam promulgated by IAPP and that went into effect on September of 2019. The most important thing to know about these changes are that they're very minor and they can be counted on both your hands. We're going to go through the examination blueprint and also the body of knowledge outline, what got added and what got deleted. And the way we're going to find out is by running change compare software. And one of the fun things as an attorney is confronting another attorney who doesn't know how to use these things. So they'll ask for a red line document and I'll refuse to provide it. And presumably they have to go through this massive 60-page contract by themselves and they aren't able to figure out my changes and, I've delivered a good value for my client. Anyway, we can see that a highlight indicates a change and a deletion is indicated by this strike through and red text. So let's see what changed. Well, we see multiple changes on the dates, the version numbers, and the number of pages, so that's to be expected, but it doesn't change the content of the exam. Then we see 0 changes whatsoever on the first page. We see exactly 1 change on the second page, where the word retention was added to storage limitation. So you would need to know facts about how long data processors and controllers can retain data. The second change you'll notice is a deletion here. Appropriate technical and organizational measures have been removed from data subject rights, but we'll see on the next page that it just simply got moved. So you still need to know the content here in my book. Now down here we see that this is an addition, a new addition. Consent, including right of withdrawal, has been added to data subject rights. So it's great that IAPP has finally figured out after more than a year that there is a right of withdrawal in the GDPR. That's, better late than never. Now we have 2 additions here. Sub A, protection mechanisms, encryption, access controls, etc. has been added under number 1. So back here when they deleted appropriate technical and organizational measures, it just got moved down here to appropriate technical and organizational measures, and the material in my book there applies here. There's also a new sub A under number 2 for risk reporting requirements. The risk reporting requirements, and finally data sharing. What are the obligations of 2 organizations with data sharing the data? Finally, under sub A, joint controllers is a concept that's specifically outlined here, and establishing criteria for conducting a data protection impact assessment, DPIA, is also specifically called out here. So you may wish to pay attention to what the accountability requirements are in both these situations. So in total, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, that's already there. This was already here. Consent is obviously a large part of the GDPR. And 5, so arguably 5 changes total after the GDPR has been in effect for, almost 2 years now. And now let's move on to a change comparison of the examination blueprint. And we see the same pattern where there's only 1 change here, which is instead of limitation, the word retention got appended to limitation under data processing principles. There's a second change. Consent and withdrawal of consent were added to data subject rights. Once again, very, very enlightened and forward-thinking there, IAPP. And finally, instead of management, there's now the words data sharing appended after management for security of personal data. And those are the only 3 changes total to IAPP's exam blueprint. So if you're wondering if my book is still adequate for study, I would suggest that it is. And if you have any concerns about these new topics, you can go ahead and Google them, and that should be more than sufficient to supplement your study for the CIPP exam. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful and fun exam and career.